For years now, more and more Australian universities have been hosting more and more foreign students. But today it seems there's a new milestone. Sydney University, our oldest and one of our most prestigious centres of learning, now officially has more foreign students than domestic ones. That's right, there are more foreigners studying at Sydney Uni than there are young Australians. Now, it's a common lament that the university experience today is not what it used to be. Most students need part-time jobs to get through. Most lectures now are only online. Tutorials, where you were once encouraged to argue with the tutor and your fellow students, well, they hardly exist anymore. Many discussion topics too that used to be commonplace in my day are now taboo because of the risk of triggering students. Or the fear, sadly justified by some, that if you were to disagree with the accepted dogma on climate, race, gender, let's say, you would be punished and likely fail the subject. Much of the change we're seeing has been driven by ideological capture and simple greed. And that's been made worse by our complete reliance on overseas student numbers to prop up our tertiary sector and the budgets of our governments. In 1980, for instance, Sydney University had just 20,000 students. Not anymore. The Federal Education Department's just released figures showing that last year Sydney Uni had almost 80,000 students. And nearly 40,000 of them were onshore international students, 39,700, and just 35,700 were Australian students. And while Sydney Uni has the largest percentage of foreign students, other universities are not far behind. The University of New South Wales, 46% of its enrolment is from overseas. Melbourne Uni, 43%. At the ANU in Canberra, 40%. The University of Queensland, 39%. Adelaide University, 33%. Now, these are all the Sandstone 8, our most elite. Nationally, 31% of all the university students studying locally are from overseas. And of the 700,000 overseas students currently in Australia, by far the biggest cohorts are from China, 23%, and India, 17%. Yet we know from government reports like the recent Jobs and Skills Australia support, we covered here that report on Monday night, that most of these foreign students are not simply here for an education. They choose Australia because of what it buys them, not just a degree, but a backdoor way to live here permanently. Now, understand this. We don't sell an education in this country, despite what the government and the universities try and tell you. We sell a migration outcome, wrapped up in a cap and gown, and it's about time everyone was honest. I know the Prime Minister wants to say that we offer the world's best education, but frankly, I think that's a crock, given that only 6 Australian universities make it into the Times Higher Education Top 100, and only one, my old stomping ground of Melbourne Uni, even makes it into the top 50. And here's why this explosion in overseas students matter. First of all, our universities are far too dependent on the cash cow of foreign students. In 2023, Sydney University earned $1.5 billion, or over 40% of its total revenue, from foreign students. But don't expect the people who run the universities to speak out against this, because it's this cash that enables them to pay themselves multi-million-dollar salaries. What else is a concern? Secondly, the preponderance of students, especially in some courses, to come from non-English speaking backgrounds, and that's leading to an explosion of group rather than individual assessments. And the argument is that that is reducing the academic quality of our institutions. Just ask a uni student about this and they'll let rip, because they know what's going on. They know that the native English speaker is probably being put into these groups so that foreign students in the groups as well are helped to get over the mark. The statistics show how many foreign students are likely to be struggling with English. In 2021, 35% of students at Sydney were from non-English speaking backgrounds. The third concern here is a real one. This is the security risk of so many international students in our universities that have grants to do work in critical areas. Think about cybersecurity here or defence work. Indeed, a 2024 New South Wales Auditor General's report said that Chinese enrolments accounted for some 78% of Sydney University's international education revenue. Now, what's got to happen here is a radical rethink of how we run our universities and who attends them. Because when we have a drastic shortage of skilled trades and yet an oversupply of uni students who struggle to get a job when they leave, saddled with a massive HECS debt, we know that we have a system that's fundamentally broken. But unless we decouple the money from the universities, and by that I mean the foreign student migration money scam, we will never have an honest debate. After all, what's the point of universities that have become vehicles for what amounts to be an immigration racket, at the same time as they're losing their mission to train our best and brightest to think critically and push back the frontiers of knowledge?